Well, okay, I guess it's having me start all over again. I'm trying to learn this phone and how to record on it. Howdy, folks. My tablet ain't doing so dadgum good. One of my subscribers sent me my hat. Thank you very much. Wore it today with my Just Staying t-shirt. I got this one where I was supporting something online. Supposedly, I don't know, that was my intentions. That's what it said. If they lied, who gives a damn? It's why I gave the money is what counts, right? Thank you for the hat, brother. Wore it into town today after I opened it last night, I guarantee, as soon as I got home. And it made it through the mail fine. We're going to have to do something to form it a little bit. But it's cool. Thank you. Thank you very much. First person that seen me in it when I stepped out of the car, two young ladies. One was probably mid-30s, the other one was late 20s or earlier. And I spoke to them a minute about their car from a distance. And as I went to walk away, she said, "Oh, by the way, love your hat." So, good response. Boy, I've seen a lot of people in our little town looking at me. Not that they're not Republicans or anything like that. We just don't see a lot of these hats around. So it gets a little attention. So, you know, and then they have to look at the shirt. I'm good with that. I like attention or something. All right, I'm in the kitchen messing around. I had someone ask me this morning, well, I got the comment this morning, and I cannot read it to you because I'm on my phone. And I'm not that talented. No. I guess I could have brought it up on my and I could be noisy. But I guess I could have brought it up on my tablet. But what it boils down to is they asked me my opinion on getting their own authority and that kind of stuff. And once again, I've made videos of this, but I guess there's some things that you just can't talk about enough. So, and I would rather make another video about it and have them a little bit in the know, or at least have my opinion for what that's worth. Actually, my honest opinions are the lease purchases and whatnot that are out here with these companies. Leased on, buy on, whatever. I'm sure that somewhere there's one or maybe two that are actually good plans. The majority, and I did, off the top of my head, 3 different lease purchases. And they all was set up to rob the driver. 99% of the stories I hear of other drivers that tried the same thing, they were set up to rip off the driver. You barely made more money than a company driver. When I did mine with Prime, Buell, I can't think of the third one right now, but it don't matter. I was a very experienced driver. I was still in my outlaw days. So I could tear some miles up, I promise you. I knew how to work the system, okay? And that's what I tell y'all. Learn what you're wanting to do. If you want to be a truck driver, learn all of it. And I was tearing down some miles for them. They was making all the money. It was at a point where one of them, the company called Buell, they decided to raise their rates on all their customers, and they went up like 15 cents if I remember correctly. I don't know, but 15, 20 cents, which don't sound like a lot, but to a truck with the miles, yeah, 15 cents means a lot. When I got talking to them people about it, the general manager, and told her I thought that was overall a pretty good thing. I said, now how's that breaking down? How much is actually coming to my truck? And she started naming off tire funds and maintenance funds, and all this stuff's going to get a little boost, which all that goes into their kitty, so to speak. It's supposed to be an escrow, but still. When she got all done naming everything, 1 penny was coming to the truck. And they was going to get a cut of that. You know? And that's the basics of how all of them work. They're rigged up for them, not for you. So if you want to get away from being a company driver, damn near the only way I know to do it, if you're honestly getting away from it, is to be an owner-operator. Now, there's right and wrong ways to do that, in my opinion. Even if you get away from their lease contract and you get your own truck, you're paying your own fuel, your own maintenance, your own insurance. They're covering whatever they cover. You're a true lease on. You can make a little bit more money than the lease-to-own driver. But you're still falling under their regulations with most of them. So now I'm an old rebel, and it's not what most people think. I rebel. I don't like people with authority over me, and I need to start getting my supper in, so I'm going to talk to you while I'm cooking. Which is why I had you in the kitchen anyway, but I got talking. Those are still set up to make the company money. I mean, that's what they're in business for, right? But you're still limited by their rules, and you're with them mostly for them to get you a load. And they get their cut. Well, I think that if you're going to do it, you need to get your own authorities. I can tell you from my experience, which I got my own authorities. I did not use them, but I got them. And it's easier to get those authorities your first time around while you're doing it right now. It doesn't cost you that much more money. A little bit more paperwork, imagine that. But it really don't cost you that much more money. Now, if you get your own authorities, now you can still lease on with someone else. Mama, this is going to leave you 2 hamburgers. Unless I do another pan to cook 2. We've got 6 going in. You cook them if I leave them? That's a good George Foreman burger right there. We have bacon cheddar burgers. And I'm going to put pineapple rings on them, throw them in the oven. Then when they're done, I have some jalapeno cheese. I'm trying it instead of pepper jack. Normally I get pepper jack because I do like pepper jack. Seen this? I can't help it. The price was a little cheaper. I said, let's try it. So I got it. That's what we're doing. Now then, if you get your own authorities, you can still lease on with someone else. However, if you don't get your authorities and you don't like where you're at over there, and you decide now I need to go and get my authorities, all you did before was get it legal, and now you're going to have shut down for at least a few days. 1 to 2 at the best. Probably going to be at least 1 to go find the office, get the paperwork you need. And it ain't a one-step application. You know, a one-page application. It's a few pages. Time it's all said and done. You get it filled out, and if you're slow like me, that's going to take you a day or 2. then let's see, Mama's got it at 3 1/4. I think I'll set it for about 20 minutes. Thank you. But anyway, regardless how long it takes you, every state's a little bit different. All of us are a little different. It's going to take you a little bit of time off to do it, which is a break in your income. So getting your own authorities, you go ahead and get them. It's just a little more paperwork. It's not that hard. You get your own authorities. Now you can do 2 different things. And you can't do both of them at the same time. Now you can look online, and there's plenty of broker companies where you can broker your own freight. You have to have all your insurance. They call it a packet. When you call and talk to them about a load, when you go closing the deal, they're going to want you to send them your packet. And your packet is everything to show that you were set up as a company to legally haul their freight. They don't want no shortcuts. You got to have X amount of stuff, and you'll learn what it is. And you'll learn to have a packet, probably something where you hit send, a folder on your computer, whatever y'all do these days. We used to have to fax it. But anyway, now you're dealing with a broker directly, and you're cutting out a company that you would be paying 20% to, more or less. So you've gained 20% there. You've taken on a little bit more work. But with today, I thought about doing it when I was hot-shotting, and I didn't do it. Like I said, when I hot-shotted, my head wasn't in the game right, and I just lost my son. I shouldn't have tried it when I did. I wasn't mentally on top of my game, and I screwed up. But now you can get computer programs. And the young man I was talking to, 30-ish, he had one of them built-in stands for his laptop, where you mount it however you mount it, like the cops and shit's got. So he could work his laptop right there in front of his truck. Now remember, it's a dually crew cab, and we would sleep in the back of our trucks, which ain't very comfortable. You can go on there. Some of them are free. Some of them you have to pay for. But there's a lot of broker boards out there on the internet. You find one and take a gamble on it. I wouldn't be paying for one until I start trying them out myself and learn my game. Learn what you're doing on the free sites is what I would suggest. That's your call. So now you're broking the freight, and you're cutting out the company that was taking 20%. Now you have to be careful of ethnic laws, okay? But to me, your ideal situation is to go that next step, which is to contact the shipper and cut the broker out. And Lord knows, depends upon what broker it is, how much you're cutting out. But also you have to remember, for you to cut that broker out, you've got to help that company to save money. If there ain't something in for them, why would they cut out this tried and true broker? If he is tried and true, they do have trouble with brokers. And like I said, you have to worry about ethnic laws, because sometimes the paper you sign, there might be one of them hidden legal catch-22 traps in there that says that you won't contact this shipper for 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever. So that's where your ethnic laws come in. So exactly what they are, I don't know. Ethnics to a dispatch or to a broker, I wouldn't worry about a whole hell of a lot, but I would worry about what the legal ramifications are to it. So that would be your ideal. And what I would suggest is, if you're going to try that, while you're getting set up, I'd see what kind of manufacturers I've got around me, and I'd talk to the small ones first. Now, what kind of trucking are you going to be doing? Flatbed, dry box, reefer, specialty. What are you going to do? Well, you go around your area and find that kind of shipper around you, which is something else I'll tell you, is whatever kind of trucking you go to do for yourself, whether it's hot shot or whatever, you need to make sure you have a shipper or receiver around your home to get you started. Because you always want to be able to come home or get out of home. See what I'm saying? So you want something. Then when, let's say that you live in Atlanta and you done found your person around Atlanta and they have a load they want you to take to St. Louis. So you take that up there. I would look around. Now, y'all are better computer geeks than myself. Is there a way that you can go onto one of them broker sites and kind of look and see if they actually give any names of the shipper? I doubt if they will. But you could make a couple phone calls for the kind of loads you're looking at and see if you can get any information from them. You know, you're not telling them no yet, but look around that area. You ask your guy back in Atlanta, hey, do you go to St. Louis a lot? Yeah, I do. Start looking around for something to get you back to him. See what I'm saying? Or maybe it'd be something from Atlanta to Dallas, or Atlanta to St. Louis, and now you find something to Dallas, and then you can find something back to Atlanta. Because those are big hubs. That'd be a good place for you to find loads. But you try to set up something. You've got to be thinking. As Michael told Stone the other day when we was talking, it really is a thinking man's game. Not only driving the truck, but if you really want to be a success and have your own authorities, then you're going to need to go whole hog and do it all right. Now, you tell yourself, don't tell me, I don't care. I won't make any money off of you. But you tell yourself honestly, are you a business person? Can you be self-motivating? Can you make yourself get up of a morning, whether you feel like crap, whether you're tired, you got something to do, you need to do it. Even to a point of, if you need to look for a load, guess when's the best time to look for a load? And it ain't in the middle of the afternoon, unless you're looking for tomorrow. And while we're at that, let's go back to them computers and you getting these online brokers. The young man that I was talking to, he was telling me that he gets on these broker boards and you can set up perimeters. You know you're leaving Atlanta. They don't care where you're leaving. You know you're going to St. Louis. That they care about. So now you set up this, the perimeters telling that computer, that broker site, that you're going to be in St. Louis on Tuesday and you're going to be empty and ready by 2 o'clock. And you want to find a load within 100 miles of St. Louis. So, and how it sets up exactly, I don't know. I ain't in computer stuff. I imagine it takes the St. Louis zip code and does 100 miles from it is what I imagine. Now then that computer is looking. He said that he had it where if it dinged on him, a load became available that met his critique, it would ding. Well, he had it set up on that so he'd come to his phone, and he just stopped and glanced at his phone. Notice I said he'd stop, because we all know it's against law to be reading them driving. So I'm sure he did. But now he's looking at it on his phone. It's giving him the short brief of it. Sounds interesting. Now he'll either accept it, he could accept it off of his phone, or he could stop and get back on that laptop, get details, or he could call them. Whatever he needed to do. So you can have this modern technology searching for loads in front of you. Now you've got the load from Atlanta and you just set up somebody out of St. Louis that's good. They're going to have regular loads to Dallas. Well, now you set the computer up for Dallas. You know, then you set it, you try to get you something going on your own. Work at it. Work at it. Now if you want to do broker loads and just whatever you can find running everywhere, cool. Do your research on what kind of trucking you want to do. About the worst out there, in my opinion, would be reefers. Unless you just like unloading your own loads or something, or you like sleeping. Grocery warehouses, cold storage places, they all suck. Your time means nothing to them. They waste so much of your time, which is takes away from your driving time, which takes away from your bottom line. I would damn sure stay away from them. Dry boxes can be somewhat the same, but not as bad as reefers. Flatbedding, despite what a lot of them tell you out there, yes, sometimes you do have to wait. You got to wait to load, wait to unload, wait on a crane. Done it too. It ain't as bad as dry box or reefer, but it still happens. The specialty load, I've only hauled 2 oversizes as it is, and both of them were boats, and I had to set up and wait for, or make appointments for a crane, but then it was only an hour or two. You know, it's one of them deals where they've had so many appointments and truck driver didn't make it. All right, driver, well, let us know when you get here, and then we can have one over there in an hour or two. It's the industry, and our co-workers that have set that up where we can't be trusted. Unless it's a regular. If you're a regular there and they get to know you, then you call them up and say, yo, Bob, I'm going to be there at 4. He's going to know you're going to be there at 4. You know, that's where you got to get that own personal thing going with them. All right, folks, Papa Joe back again. You didn't even know we took a little break when we turned around here. We did. Dinner turned out great. We didn't do chili on it, but we did do a rice and some ranch-style beans with it. Okay, I have little Joe splice this thing together. I watched this video after it uploaded, and what I did not tell you is, okay, let's say you've got your truck, you got your own authorities, you're starting to set up where you've got some kind of customer base. Now I wanted to ask you, what are you going to do when you have that first breakdown? And you can't count on being able to run for X amount of time before you have it. Oh, it's a new truck or whatever. The thing is that once you take on that responsibility of owning your own truck, now you have all your home bills to pay, whatever they normally are. Plus now you have some bills on that truck that come due whether it's making money or not. What are you going to do? Now, flat tire, blowout, a little bit of minor stuff, the company would probably help you. But I can tell you now, the cost of a road call and a tire blowing it on the road is very expensive. $400 to $600 would be a fair guesstimate. If you're a truck driver right now, start asking whoever comes and fixes the tire for you. But what if you have real problems? Something that makes that $400 to $600 look like chump change. What are you going to do when you have that $5,000 breakdown? And that's cheap for a big truck. Well, if it's a $10,000 breakdown? Now that's just the cost of getting your truck repaired. What about the cost of all the fixed bills that are on that truck just because you're an owner-operator? What about all your bills at home? You can't leave mom and the babies in the dark. So you really need to think about it. Yeah, your own authorities and owning your own truck, that is a big dream. But you have to plan. It's a thinking man's business. And you have to think ahead to all this stuff. If that truck's down for 2 weeks, which is not exaggerated at all, that could happen real quick, and it is real common. So you have to think about, what if my truck's down for 2 weeks? What if it's down for a month? People throw a lot of numbers out there about how much money you should have in an account. Some of them say, it's got to be disposable money. You have to be able to put this $10,000 out into this truck and it not hurt you, is what they're saying. And don't expect it to really come back, because it's just an investment in your piece of equipment. It comes back in the long run by keeping your vehicle running. Now you got to replace it too. But you got to think about it. The biggest failure that I've heard of people being an owner-operator, and I can't say it too many times, is they get that big check. And they think, oh, look at me, I got the money. I'm rolling in the dough now. The truth of the matter is, that's not your money. That money goes to the truck. Very little do you actually get. So you really need to know, first off, just to be a good operator, you need to know what your cost is on that truck. All them fixed incomes, you need to know what they are. Truck payment, insurance, blah, blah, blah. And those never change every month. You also need to know what your variable cost is. That's cost of your fuel, stuff that you basically pay by the mile. You also need to know how much you need to get home to mama. You need to set mama up on a budget. All right, you need $500 a week. I'm going to give you $6, and that's it. Unless it's an emergency, that's it. So you know you got $600 going home to mama. You need to know what you have to have out there. For an owner-operator, $200 a week is pretty high. Most of them will try to keep it way down half of that. And you can with a little work. But still, that's $100. So every week, you have to make $700 for you and mama. Every week that truck note's going to be, let's say $500 for argument's sake. Your insurance is going to be $1,000 a month. So let's say it's $300 a week. So that's how much you've got to make before you can even start making any money. So the first money that you start making needs to go to your fuel bill and all that stuff. So stop and think about that part. That's the biggie. So now you get that check and, oh, look at me, I'm rich this week. No, you ain't. By the time you divvy that all up, and you need to set how much, this is the max I can get the family. And if somebody gets shortchanged, you get shortchanged first. It is what it is. It can be done. A lot of people have done and been very successful. But regardless how dumb you think they are or how crazy they think or talk, they figured it out. If they're being a success, they're a success. And you can be too. If you're a business person, if you have self-discipline, if you make yourself get up and go to work every morning, if you take the time to learn your job, learn how to work it, it can be done. If you don't have that self-drive and self-motivation, you need to stay in the truck, company truck. If you have these great wild desires to be at home every weekend or every night and playing with the kids, you need to really think about your strategy. It can still be done. You got to have a strategy. Remember, it can be harder for the ones wanting to go home, because even when you get home, let's say you work it out and you get home every weekend, come weekend, you need to be putting time into that truck. Your best money says you'll be working on it, doing what you can. If you're working on it, doing what you can, and saving that mechanic bill, you're not playing ball with Jimmy. You're not serving tea with Tammy. You're working on the truck. Time for that spring ball game. Oh, I can't go. I got to put brakes on my truck. You're married to that truck, even if you're getting home every night and every day, every weekend, once a month. When you do get home, you'll be working and serving that truck. It is your first wife. And a lot of wives get very jealous over it. Don't think they don't. Oh, you need to, if you're going to do it and you're married, you need to talk to your spouse and give them the down and dirty. Tell them the truth of what it's going to be looking like so the both of you can make the decision. Because not only is it a lifestyle, it's a lifestyle you've chosen that drags your family in with you. All right, there you go. That's what I can tell you. I think I've covered pretty much all of it. As much as I can for one old man that just makes videos in his kitchen. Y'all remember, God loves you, and so do I. If you decide to try it, good luck to you. I really hope for you the best. Do it right, though. Y'all have a good evening now. Bye.